Hi everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. So today is Monday, November 12th. Friday I put up on the 9th, I put up this video on my YouTube channel, live market analysis of crypto, CFD, Forex on late November 9th. Now I'm doing the same thing, but I am going to do it for today on November 12th at 4:14 p.m. So I've been running the strategies and all the algos that you know about since yesterday. So we are able to analyze both the CFD, Forex, and the cryptocurrency systematically, which we're about to do. Okay, so we're looking at the crypto analysis. Now this is the analytics dashboard, part of my analytics service. So this is current as it stands right now. Let me just make sure. You don't care about stuff like that, I'm sure. Okay, let me just make sure we get this. So I'm going to start with CFD systematic right here. All right. So this is, as I said, the latest, the freshest. Now, I like watching volume. So this is all courtesy of Binance. You can clearly see where the volume is. It's an ADA, XLM, BAT, SC, BTC. You can see right here in this pie chart. And here are some of the wild upswings. Now I'm going to be, let's call it improving the position management stuff. So these are the pairs that are moving the most, and the ones that are doing quite well is this XLM Ethereum and against XLM against Ethereum and XLM against BTC. So obviously those are the ones that you may want to focus on. You can also get the rankings in this table here. You also, and then I don't yet know how I'm going to handle this, but the reports are really helpful, so you can always download that. I want to implement and get working again my harmonics and candlesticks, the Marabuzu. That seems to work nice. Real nice to give you those convictions of these are the potential movers. So I want to get that working as well. So here are the charts that I put up late last week. These are really important because it shows visually where you're going to have the pain. Okay, so let's go through these one by one. So this is XLM BTC. So you can clearly see here on November 11th, this is an hourly chart. You get the up move, it slightly moves up, and then it gets nailed back, whipsaw it back down with a downtrend, sort of climbs its way back up, and then it just gets whipsawed back and forth. These are the trades I'm not a big fan of. You can clearly see that happening along here in the volume chart here, the red versus green. There's luckily 11th, 12th of November, there's more green than the red, which is good, but still it may be a riskier trade to take on. Here's BATC. Now, from what I read, crypto or Coinbase added this pair, or sorry, BAT, onto basic attention token, I think it's called, on a Coinbase, and it just took this major dive down. And look at the volume just got hit, and it's just been down, down, down since, I believe, November 9th. Then you move into BATC. So that the first one I just showed you is against BAT against. Oh, so these are two separate. Oh, okay. It looks like these are the same charts. Lots of cleaning up here. Now, another one that's been getting a lot of attention is XRP. November 6th had a nice pop here. We clearly see from 0.7 to 0.8. That's not a bad little rise right there. But then it just goes flat. That's why I keep these charts in here like this. So like I've always talked about the RSI. Didn't catch it here, but you can clearly see that the RSI was building and building again, and these are your overbought conditions that will help drive up that price. So what happens? The early guys, they dive in. The rest of the world piles into XRP to drive up the prices they did, and eventually it dries up. But it's held pretty good, but clearly you can clearly see that there is some sort of resistance building here, and it may actually move up. If it didn't, it would have dropped off immensely back down to these levels. So this may be building a support level. That's looking okay. So as I've talked about before, we've added now these, which I'm hoping are going to be highly used, stop loss, take profit targets. Last week I made a mistake. The levels you want to look at are in reverse order. So level 1 is the highest, level 2 is the second highest, and level 3 is the third highest. So then there's level 4 here, which is the cyan color. And clearly you can see with these patterns that develop which ones are good, which ones are not good. XLM, BTC, and these are daily charts over 240 days. Clearly you can see here, right here, it broke through, went up, broke through, slightly went up, nothing to brag about, but it didn't come back down. Here, went up. So you can always use this green line, let me see here what the level is. The level 618, no Fibonacci expert, but these are widely used for entry and exit purposes. So you can somewhat see historically, right here, if it breaks through, we can use that as a shorting opportunity. But because we're on Binance, we can only long only. So this nice green bar here at 618 level can be a good test if you have a crypto or any instrument that's been battered and it's just showing signs to break through of the 618. So that's something I am following. Clearly here, ADA's just gotten battered down so bad. Same here with the SC, BTC. BAT's looking okay. You can see it had a nice run up here. XRP, same thing, but it's just flatlining here. But, it's just watching this stuff to see what takes off and what doesn't. And, of course, looking deeper in the reports to verify those theories. So that's the world of crypto for today. Now, let's check out some of the other ones that we've added a few weeks ago, both the CFD and the Forex. I'm going to take a look at the Forex right now, and I know there's a bug in this asset class where it doesn't show the charts properly. Let me scroll down. There they are. Ha ha ha. We will fix that, or we'll find a workaround to get that working properly. It's really inconsistent, and to be honest, it kind of ticks me off. But once we fix it, we fix it. Okay, here. So here we have some big movers again. Not huge that we've seen before. 1.86, 1.83, 1.6. This is a new one. This is a new one, and I'm watching the Norwegian kroner. That's telling me, is that where capital, and of course this data, what I'm showing you now, for both the CFD and the Forex is from Oanda. Not my favorite broker, but if you know me, you know my thoughts on the whole retail broker space, Forex broker space, that is. Back to the charts. So again, we have our usual movers of ZAR, the South African Rand, the Czech, Hungarian, the Norwegian. This one's an interesting one where I kind of go, is that a defensive play in the world of Forex for capital to move into this pair? I'm always intrigued to see the Norwegian kroner, see how it does, and the New Zealand dollar. This one I think is still one of those trades that's still hovering from the really good economic news from New Zealand that has clearly impacted the New Zealand economy and the dollar, or the Kiwi as they call it. So here you can see the volumes, New Zealand Japanese yen, the Turkish lira. Those are still always on top. Anything to do with the rand, anything to do with the lira as well, the Turkish lira. Here's some interesting things. we have here the British pound and the Japanese yen. Pile of volume here, and I believe that is because of the deadlines of the Brexit news and negotiations they're trying to pour on. Again, we have some Australia, New Zealand good news stuff happening. And again, this could be a defensive play as well. Now, we've talked about spread cost. Okay, here's the ranking. I'm not going to get into that. Again, same idea as the reports. Wow, check out. None of these charts came up. That's pretty pathetic. I can't deal with that. Let me just try one more time here to refresh that. Maybe it might clear up. I have no idea. No, it didn't. Okay, so once I get better at that fixed up, we got to work on that. Anyways, the spread cost. Now, I talked about this last week in the last set of videos on YouTube. The spread cost here is, it's interesting to see spread cost on these kind of pairs. USD, CZ, this is the Czech, the Hungarian is another one. These are just not traded enough to have tight spreads. So the question is, do you take the opportunity to risk those trades when you have a set of trades that you need to break even on just to cover the spread? And once you break through on the spread, is it worth taking on these type of trades? So if I go over to Oanda spread live, I guess is the keyword I would look for. So let's check out the spread here for these particular pairs. USD Huff, USD Czech. Let's check it out. So the US Czech, there you go. That's pretty high. US Huffington, not so bad this one. So that may be worth taking on. The other ones here, okay, New Zealand Canadian dollar. There's a bit of a spread here. What's the New Zealand? This one has been fairly strong for a while. Yeah, that's a pretty minimal cost, 3.1. Let's see what else is there. Norwegian, or the USD Norwegian. USD, where are you? Norwegian. Okay, that's fairly high. This one here at 50.5. So again, we won't know until we start playing these, but as I keep saying, somebody's trading these to have the volumes this high in these particular, call it exotic pairs. Now we get into the Fibonacci's. Okay, so let's just take out the assumption that these are high spread costs or exotic pairs. Let's just focus on, see, if I had the pricing action on the hourly charts, I could give you a better idea, but as I said, they're not working. I have to work on that as a better solution. Here it's in the nice zone that we want it to be. So it could be something worth to look at, that combo, that pair. This one, here's the problem. When you factor in the difference in terms of this swing, how wide the swings are in the world of crypto and how flat these are, you're kind of like trading dollars in returns of dollars versus returns of pennies in the world of Forex. And that's why the brokers want you to use all this crazy ass leverage to get you the same type of return as crypto. But from my point of view, it's very high risk to do that because it's very hard to even forecast the Forex direction, paired direction. Here, this one looks pretty good actually. 255 to almost 300. This one's an interesting pair because of the volatility. It is moving up. With this one, I don't mind it because it just gives you a lot more variety to work with in terms of swing breadth. And same with this one. I don't like these tight, let's not go anywhere type of pairs. This one's not bad. It is approaching the area we want to be here between the green and the purple. Again, same with the Norwegian. It doesn't move. Well, actually, it moves fairly similar. So I'll be keeping an eye on this as a trend and trying to factor in factor in the spread cost as well. So that's something I'll keep an eye on. And again, when it comes to these charts, it's the harmonics and the candlesticks that give you those. Yes, it's ready to move up once you get the positive Marubozu and harmonic patterns that we look for. Specifically, the bullish, the automated head and shoulders I've shown quite a while ago because those are important. Now, the other thing I forgot to mention is the volume. Let me just see here on the volume of the Forex on those particular pairs I'd be interested in. I'm pretty picky on the volume levels, so I don't just add them just to say I add them. If I do a sort here on the volume, you can clearly see, oh, is that, again, is this another wild Forex? Yeah, I gotta fix this up. Yeah, this is the wrong chart. Let's do this. Volume, yeah, you can see the volume kind of sucks here on these pairs that are supposed to be fast moving. So again, improvements. All right, so let's check out the CFDs. Very interesting. I like playing these just due to the fact that they are high risk. Wow, here's a nice mover. So everything's down. This is clearly a positive play. Everything else here with the high volume is negative. So the only one that's doing okay is the top 30 of the US index, which isn't really moving a lot. But this one's moving because, as I've mentioned before, that this particular pair, the XAU XAG, is the silver and gold ratio. So you can see here on the volumes, the volume doesn't look too bad here for XAU, XAG here in the purple. So it's in the top 4 volume, which is, I guess, considered pretty good. Let me see here what we have here on the volume level. So here's the volume level right here for this particular pair. So if the markets continue to tank, this is where I'd put my money, is at XAU, XAG. I just call it the silver gold or gold silver ratio. So, and we got our charts working here, so this is good. So check them out. You can clearly see that the US top 30 has just been slaughtered over the last few hours. Same with the 2000, the Russell 2000. You can clearly see it's just, again, this is hourly. So this is start on the 13th or going into the 13th. But along here, it's just been slammed pretty hard. So stay away. It may come back. We don't know. It's very hard to forecast that unless there's some good news that impacts the economy. So let me just clear that. All right. So we have here, here's an interesting one that I thought looked pretty good. So when you factor in how the U.S. has been getting killed, it's not getting killed as much. So that tells me that compared to the U.S. Indices, that they're overvalued and people are getting out right away, taking their profit and getting right out way faster. But this loss is not as bad as compared to the U.S. So that might significantly, especially on this very last candle here, it could show some form of a bottom as the trading starts to open up tonight because it's 4:30 New York time. This may actually potentially, I'm not saying it will or it won't, but it could mean that the sellers or the buyers may come back and dip their toes in the market tonight with these kind of candles, because you can clearly see this is what happened. Slight declines. Candle, this one's very similar. A couple of hours open up and it does go up. So it is showing potential up movements. Here again, nice move up from 22,500 or 22,500 all the way up to 26. So that's probably what I can never do my math. It's so bad. A 10% move, and that's over the late November 1st to early 2000s. So I don't know if that's one trading session. I can count the number of hours. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours. So that over that move right there, 25,000, which it did hit, all the way up to 26,500. Yeah, that's roughly let me just do my math here. I think I'm not the smartest when it comes to math. I think it's about a 15% move. So again, these are the sort of things we look for short-term pops. When you look at these candles, very similar, and we're just starting to get the early one on this trading session coming out of Hong Kong. So there you go. All right, so that's an interesting play right there. German, let's see what's going on here. I'm going to be honest, this German one, the German 30, I don't like. Look at this, the Deutsche 30, I don't like. Not going anywhere. I mean, it moves a little bit, 11,500, 5% move. That's not bad, but when you get these down moves, yeah, I'd be staying away from those for sure. So out of this, Brent crude is another interesting one. Let's see what's going on here. You can clearly see the downtrend. We've got some downward moves, goes flat, downward moves. This may pop. Who knows? I don't think. Really depends on what's coming out of OPEC news, as they promise they're going to cut. You know, if they cut, that's fine. But if the demand goes down as well, they can cut all they want. Just there's no demand there, so that may not move anywhere. So let's check out the spread costs. This is what I like about CFDs. There is no formation of the ask line here in the orange. You barely can see it. It's nice and tight. Very good, very good. There is the occasional one. I wouldn't even sweat on this one, the BCO. But I will say the only one I'd be concerned on is the India 50. I've seen the spread cost there. So yeah. So here we are on the stop loss take profit. So let's check out where we are with this is a nice chart. Clearly you can clearly see that the US indices are just overvalued, and just based on that alone, if the fundamentals come out bad, the news out of the US markets come bad, all the forward guidance, all of that it's just going to get hammered, and it's going to come down hard. And it's been proven in October, but it has to come down to get fair market value. But you can clearly see why, as I said earlier, why Hong Kong looks pretty good. I'm not seeing that out of China, even though, let me check on the volume. Because China, let me see here, and same with India as well. Something I'd be very interested in. Clearly see, I don't know. I don't like the looks. I mean, this one here, XAU, obviously is that's safe money going there. Also, Hong Kong is looking good. China, yeah, I have to look at that. I really got to look at the reports to see what they're saying. China may be another interesting one. The volume is only roughly half of what U.S. is. Let me just do a sort here to see what the volume is. Okay, there you go. So you can clearly see the NASDAQ 100 volume-wise, but people are lining up their trades to go into Asia. I really think that the volume again with gold is potentially ready to move, and then anything U.S. and this one's doing pretty good too. So these may be defensive plays that people are lining up, both the Hong Kong and the silver gold ratio, as I call it, XAU, XAG as well. Those are ones to be on the lookout for. Okay, so let's leave it at that. That's quite a bit to chew on. I'll also go through my forward-looking guidance for both the US and Europe using the Eurostats and the Fed data, and we'll go from there. Okay, we'll talk to you later.